Hello and welcome back to Anti-Depressing, our 25th episode.
Wow. Look at God.
A quarter of 100. I don't know. I'm like
A quarter of 100. A quarter of a century.
Thank you. I'm like,
honestly, I don't even know what day it is.
Chanel
so it's okay.
and I yesterday did a retreat and we were gone from my house for like 14 hours. And it was me, Chanel, and my husband that put on the retreat, and our
Children.
2 daughters were along with us. So we're a little sleepsville today.
Yeah.
Just a
And
little
last
sleepy.
night we got back to their house and I was like, how are you guys doing? And Jasmine was like, I am going to sleep.
I'm ready to go to bed. It was
Yesterday,
9:30 p.m.
I've already gone to bed. Yeah,
I am
sleeping
asleep
right
on
now.
the inside. On the way home, I turned around and then I was like, oh, Stephen, all 3 of our kids are asleep. Because you and both the girls had fallen asleep. Everyone was
like,
exhausted.
Yeah, that was a long day.
It was
the retreat was amazing.
Day. Tell me your favorite part.
It was so good. My favorite part was probably so it was for high school teens. So my favorite part was just honestly getting to see the teens just like have fun and play outside. They were like playing gaga ball and just like being free. Some of them didn't have their phones and they were just hanging out. And it was just like fun to see them just have fun and not worry about anything. So that was my favorite part. How about you?
I love that. I think one of my favorite parts was when they did the service project. We have this really great pregnancy resource center in Orlando called JMJ Pregnancy Center. Huge shout out. And Alive in You Camps has volunteered with them for the past 2 summers, and we just love them and their ministry. And so during this event, we wanted the teens to do service, but at their parish. And so we connected with JMJ, and they asked us to put together these mommy care packages for their moms that like first show up at the pregnancy center and are obviously like newly pregnant. They might be scared. They might not know what to expect. And the first thing they get when they walk through the doors of JMJ is like a little mommy care basket. And so we had donations from parishioners, and we put together these baskets, and there were 54 baskets put together. And they had fuzzy socks and chapstick and lotion and so many snacks, just all the good snacks and mints and like just feel good stuff for mommies. And then all the teens hand wrote notes to the moms, and it was so sweet. Oh, I should pull up that.
Oh yes,
that
pull up
little
that
poem.
It was so
okay. So
gosh.
A probably like 16-year-old boy wrote this. And he said, "Soon you'll birth a child who soon will know one thing. They'll know and cry that they are the child of the King." Which was very,
so
we all got chills. I was like, that's wholesome from like a little boy.
Very sweet.
And I think it was just really cool because something Chanel and I are both pretty passionate about is how the church should act on their pro-life beliefs and how sometimes it feels like we're always like families, but then like we don't have a lot of follow through in terms of taking care of our families.
But not if you want to live somewhere. Wait a minute.
No, not if you want to live. But
wait, but you have to come back to work. Your baby can raise itself.
Oof, yeah, it's fine. And so there's a lot there. And I think for us, it's been really important to find ways that our ministry can kind of counter that. And so as a Catholic ministry, being able to be like, okay, we have an opportunity to serve. We're going to serve moms. Like we're going to serve people that we're like, oh yeah, babies. We're going to actually like, support them and love them, because one of my big complaints is always like, well, we don't do anything to help. And so rather than just like complaining about it, being like, okay, how can I be part of the solution now that we are like helping run these Catholic organizations, that we can kind of be part of that change. And so it was cool. And I said that to the teens yesterday, like you might feel like the church doesn't do anything to support moms, but like you're doing something today, and how cool it is that like you can take up that kind of responsibility. And so it was just a great little part of the day.
So that was beautiful. And then my last favorite part was watching the teens play with your girls. These teens
so sweet.
Latched on so fast. Like all of a sudden they were like playing with the balloons, like running around with them. And it was just fun because you just like, you know, just giving teens an opportunity to just be like awesome and just have fun and just be silly. Like they took it. And it was super fun to watch your kids just like run them around with balloons.
Oh,
and
I
just,
know.
like,
they were just being so crazy and fun. And like seeing some of the teenage boys like be silly and just like play with the kids, because sometimes at least in our experience, like at camp, a lot of teenage boys are like, oh, I'm like too cool to play with the kids.
Yeah.
So seeing a lot of them be like, oh, I'm just going to play. And a lot of the boys actually got really into like the basket making. And they were like, oh, this is like so great. I'm going to put it together. I'm going to I figured out how to tie this ribbon. And they were really excited. And I told a lot of the boys, I was like, this is husband training. Like if you want to be a husband, ladies love baskets. We love baskets.
Fill it with stuff.
Yeah, we love baskets, and you hand fill. Like my husband yesterday told some of the guys, he's like, one time I went into Bath and Body Works, and I walked in getting stuff for Jasmine, and the lady was like, oh, do you want like this pre-made basket? And he was like, no. He was like, that takes like no effort. He's like, I want to like hand pick the things, and I want to be able to present with the basket, which honestly, I mean, I would have taken any basket, but the fact that he like hand picked and then put the things together into the basket, like made it look nice, that's the stuff. So gentlemen,
the word of the day.
There it is.
Intentionality.
Baskets.
That's the word of the day. Baskets. The word of the day is baskets.
Baskets.
If you don't watch this episode with full context, if you didn't hear the story right before this, that would make no sense to you. So that's an encouragement to watch the entire episode.
The whole thing. Baskets are king.
There it is. So let's roll into our Catholic news of the day.
Do you want to hear it?
Because I think that we have great news for today.
This is the good news of the gospel. The anti-depressing Catholic news this week is that our dear friend, Will, who you've heard on the show, who was the creator of Anti-Depressing, just the greatest guy, and his lovely, even better than him, he will not be mad that we said that, wife, had the most beautiful,
sweetest
baby girl this week, and we love her so much. And how cute is this? On their way to have sweet baby girl, and during labor, they listened to Anti-Depressing.
There it is. And we felt honored.
So we are labor approved.
So little baby Hickle is just
and she'll
here.
Know our voices.
She's rocking and rolling.
So good.
She'll know our voice, and we'll just be in your life. It reminds me of that episode of The Office where Jan brought her baby to the office, and Michael held up the baby and was like, "Look, it's your family.
This is your family." And she's like, "Put her down."
Yeah, she's like, "Put her down." Like she will not live in this office. Like,
but
we are your family, baby. And welcome to the world.
Welcome.
We love you.
And if you're out there and you're pregnant, just know Anti-Depressing is really great to listen to when you're in the most excruciating pain in your life. So don't worry.
From one mommy to another mommy.
It's approved.
There it is. Well, you guys, we have like amazing content for you today. I think it's just going to be, we're full of opinions. We're full of, like, you're going to leave this episode just thinking to yourself,
the takes are taking.
Do I even know what I want for myself in the dating scene? Ooh. Even if you're married, you're going to contemplate, like, am I setting the bar too low?
Is my husband taking me to good restaurants?
Yeah. Am I turning up for like the wrong kind of restaurant? You know what I'm saying? Should I set my bar higher than TGI Fridays? So,
no. As
to not build up too much anticipation, why don't we just break into a little dance before we start?
Let's absolutely dance. Darn it. I need to label these.
One day.
You normally push the buttons.
I do think it's C.
No, that clapped. It's A. It's B?
No, I think it's C. Oh, you're right.
It's A. We could just sing it at this point.
That is also true. I know. Okay, so Jasmine, can you kick us off with story number 1?
Absolutely. I need to remember this. Well, you have the list.
Oh, that is actually true, y'all. Like who am I? I'm literally
it's been
Jasmine.
Like months since
kick us off with story number 1, and I'm like being a pain. I'm being a pain in the butt because I'm like holding the list in my thing. Okay, let me see.
Like I would love to, but I just
pass.
Did it not save?
Oh.
Do you want me to help you?
What?
I know what it is. It's the dates.
Yeah.
First date.
You guys.
You have the list pulled up on your Safari.
You guys, I do. So our first story is about,
I think you opened the wrong.
I think I did.
The wrong one.
It's down here. That's why. Our first
you guys were
story
doing great.
has went viral from this woman who went on a date with this guy. She was going to the date, and the guy pulled up to the Cheesecake Factory. It's a little bit of context. He pulled up to the Cheesecake Factory, and she refused to get out of the car. And he said, "Why aren't you getting out of the car?" And she was like, "You're taking me," she said, This is a chain restaurant. Who takes someone who looks like this to a chain restaurant? A woman should be cared for and cherished. The man responded, according to Fox 5 Atlanta, by saying, I went into this date with the expectations for myself to keep you safe, to respect you, to pay for your food, of course. And then she got roasted online because she refused to get out of the car and had him take her home. And then she created this list of first date spots that are unapproved by women slash her. And it is going viral. And the first one is obviously the Cheesecake Factory.
She won't stand for it.
She will not stand for it. But the list goes long. So we have the Cheesecake Factory, Applebee's, Chili's. That's a tough one because I do like Chili's.
We love Chili's.
Olive Garden. I get it. It does have carpet in it. It's kind of like a little intense. But the food is like so good. Yeah, like
anyone who brings me somewhere that I can eat as much bread as I want without being judged.
That's actually true.
I'm not trying to.
The movies. I mean, first date. I mean, I get it because you can't really like talk.
Yeah, TBH of the list, the movies is one of the top ones I agree with.
Yeah.
The other ones I'm like, I don't care where you take me to eat food. We're eating food. The point is to have a conversation.
Yeah.
And that is why the movies is unapproved to me because the point of a first date is to have a conversation and see what you like about the person. And you cannot do that.
So the movies make sense. Next one, Your House.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. That makes sense.
Thanksgiving murderer.
Any fast food chain. Yeah.
I could respect that. Except for like Culver's.
Okay. This is becoming Wisconsin niche. Okay.
They have Culver's in Florida now.
That's actually true. And Culver's is really good. Where people kind of come to you and bring you your food, I don't know. That feels different.
That feels different.
Chick-fil-A, they bring you your food. Like maybe like a lunch. I wouldn't say
That's so true.
Like
what
dinner.
time are we meeting?
If we're meeting at night and you take me to Chick-fil-A, I'm going to
be like, why are all these kids in the playground?
If you take me during lunch, like if we're like, let's meet up for a first date lunch, like cash, then
I don't think I'd be offended. We're also not horribly hard to please as people.
That's actually true. But maybe from reading this list, like we'll realize we need to raise our standards.
I don't know.
Buffalo Wild Wings. Agree. I agree.
That's too much sports.
I agree. It's too many TVs. Anywhere with that many TVs in it, pass.
No.
Wingstop. Oh my gosh. Whoa. I would be disrupted. Red Lobster.
I would eat those biscuits. You know those ones?
That's actually true.
Yeah,
like,
I'm not that way. I would
disagree.
Eat
Do you want to read the rest?
Yeah, a buffet.
Yes, absolutely not.
I feel like a buffet can't be cute.
Cannot.
IHOP.
I don't know. I kind of like.
I love IHOP. I disagree.
I disagree.
Pancakes are it
because pancakes, like that's a nice little breakfast.
We love pancakes. Though.
That's a nice appropriate. If you're bringing me there at 10 p.m., I'd be like, there has to be a restaurant.
Yeah, why are we in this like?
But if you're like,
lit?
let's meet up for breakfast, I would still think maybe there's a nicer breakfast restaurant. Like you could take me to a First Watch or like something like that. But I wouldn't be mad.
There's something to be said here about like where are we living? If we're living in like Orlando and there's so many cute like brunch spots, dinner spots, whatever, then like. Yeah, maybe if you take me to IHOP, I'd be like, there's a lack of creativity happening here. But maybe like your parents met at IHOP. Maybe it's something significant. Maybe you're invested.
That's true.
But if you're in like small town nowhere and there's just chain restaurants, then like bringing me to IHOP might not be so bad.
That's true.
You know, I think our situation depends. What about Denny's?
Oh, no.
Mm-mm. Denny's is a not for me because I just am not that into the food.
Yeah.
The gym.
Oh, pass.
The gym is a hard pass for me. But if you're like sporty people, then I could see maybe it's like maybe you bonded at the gym and you're like, oh, do you want to like do a workout together as like a little whatever?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. If you're fitness
see that.
people, then I could see. You're going to like spot each other at the gym. It gets a little cute. It gets a little romantic. I don't know.
Just all that like grunting and sweating.
You are not going to like number 16. Okay. Church.
I think
I mean you're not gonna like that. It's on the list. To be fair,
I think that if you took me to church for our first date, I would think a few things. Young Chanel would be like Ave Maria Chanel in college.
Oh yeah, that would have been.
She would be like, yes, like this is peak date.
Yes.
Older Chanel would think, this is not really creative. It's not creative, and
it's getting uncreative. It's becoming the trend.
It's becoming the trend, and I would kind of be like, are we like? Is this we're going to mass and then we're like eating brunch? Then I'd be like, okay. Like if you're, but then in that case, if you took me to church, which is pretty generic, and then you took me to IHOP, But if you took me to church,
two basics,
two
cancel
basics
each other
cancel
out.
each other
Yeah.
out. But if you took me to church,
Two negatives make it.
then if you took me to church, but then took me to like
took you
bake
to like
shop or like
took you to a place that had
like,
like a good avocado
a
toast.
good
I
avocado
would go.
toast and like a nice
Which is also
coffee.
basic, but you know what I'm
But
saying.
you know what I'm
It's
saying.
different.
Like you wouldn't take me to
Not a
Waffle
chain.
House, which is
You
on the
didn't
list.
take me to Mass and then Starbucks. You took me to Mass and then like a craft coffee shop.
Then I would be like, okay, that's like kind of nice.
I think my opinion from earlier still stands. If you can't talk during the first date, you got nothing accomplished.
It's true.
Like you didn't understand the mannerism. So if we're just going to Mass and then we're like, it was so nice to pray with you.
That's
But
weird.
you prayed in silence. Like
Weird.
I can watch someone pray, but like I don't learn everything from them.
Weird.
Unless you're like, oh, how do you receive communion? And you're trying to cancel someone out like
and
that.
also like prayer
other than
is
that,
like
I don't
intimate too. So it's like
I feel like that's kind of a romantic I don't know, not the prayer
like
is
I'm
like
like
romantic
sitting next to you and it's just like
and we're all
like,
praying.
That's just kind of like intense.
Yeah. I think if you're gonna do Mass, it's accompanied with something after, some sort of like speaking situation.
Yeah, like
towards the end.
yeah, we have to be like.
I think that's
talking
important.
at least like a little bit.
Yeah,
I tried
absolutely.
to y'all in the past 2 seconds. If you're watching this on YouTube, I tried to just adjust it so my phone
So it
didn't go
stops
dim like
blocking?
every
We're
2
struggling.
seconds. But I can't. I don't know how to do it. So here we go.
I don't know either, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, 17 ties into what I just said.
Yep.
Starbucks.
No.
If it's during Starbucks holiday drink season, I change my mind. But coffee date in general?
It depends. Is it a craft coffee shop that also has food?
Yeah, are there
Then
snacks?
If it's like
But
the
maybe they're
afternoon,
trying to
yeah.
go cash because maybe they're like, am I going to buy someone a whole meal if we're just trying to figure it out?
Yeah, but
I don't
also
know.
then I'd kind of be like,
Money is hard.
but also then okay, Jasmine, if this was me talking to you at 30 years old and I
Yeah.
was like, Jasmine, this man said he wants to take me out for coffee and that's it.
I'll be honest.
What would you say?
I am a coffee shop girl.
That is actually
I
true.
like
so
being
I,
at coffee
that's
shops,
true.
and I will fight anybody that I honestly think that coffee shop dates are the best first date
Because you can get
because
in
it's
and out.
low commitment.
True.
If you're like not into it, you can bounce.
That's true.
If you like don't know what to order, because like what if you get food in your teeth? What if you whatever coffee like you or tea
It's
like you
chill.
can just drink it.
That's actually
you
true.
can have a conversation. You're not like stressing over ordering. There's not like a tipping whatever. So like it's just
True.
it's less chaotic.
True.
And I think there's the opportunity that you can be like, I'm a walk and talk dater. I like to like go on a long walk. I like to be able to have a conversation. I think a lot of like good happens when you can just like move your body and talk and don't have to just be staring at the person.
Yeah, that's
and so
true.
I think there's something to like if you
Getting
go to a coffee shop and then you're like, oh, there's like this thing down the road. You can
Okay.
like grab a coffee and go
You
on
got
a
me there.
walk, and you can
You
can
got
be
me
more
there.
casual.
If someone took me on a coffee date and said, okay, we're going on this coffee date, but you're intentional about choosing a coffee shop that
It's in,
is
like, a cute
in
spot.
proximity to a cute area, then
Yeah.
I'll be like, that sounds good.
You can just
But-
like walk around a park, walk around
Yes.
whatever, cute city.
But if you're like, this is a Starbucks inside of a Target, do you want to meet here? I would, well, even
That's
then, I don't know.
We're like, I don't know. We walking around Target. You
Because
buying me a little something?
That's
We're
true.
going to the dollar spot.
That's actually true. So I take that back. Chanel has not thought this through. So
you change your mind real quick.
yeah, that's true. So okay, so coffee shops are an up in the air. Drop us your comments and let us know.
Coffee
what you
shops
think.
are a yes for me.
That one's hard. It's a yes
Would
for me
recommend.
too, but like I
Mhm.
have a lot of stipulations. Okay,
Family functions, absolutely not.
no,
Absolutely
I do
not.
not want to meet your family on a
Yeah.
first date. That's
Mm-mm.
crazy. Yeah,
Movie night, Netflix, Hulu, etc.
I'm not going to your house.
Nope.
Yep.
Somewhere that requires a long drive.
No, because you
Murderer.
don't even know
You're
if you
gonna
like
dump me
me.
on the side of the street.
Like I don't even know if I like you, but
Mhm,
you also
mhm.
don't know if you like me. Like we could be in this car. What kind of music do you like? Like what are we
yeah,
doing?
and then like ride back. What are we? What if we
Like,
don't?
what if we don't like
decide
it?
we don't like each other?
No,
It's just giving creep.
no.
Bowling.
No. And maybe
Mm-mm.
it was definitely the pandemic, but once I realized that I'm just like putting my fingers in that ball
Mhm,
and then
mhm,
eating
mhm,
wings,
mhm,
good
mhm,
night.
mhm.
I just don't want to do that.
That's a little too much.
It's gross.
Mm-hmm. Nightclubs.
Your point. I'm not talking to you.
I'm not talking to you. We're just like thumping, and
Which is,
it's
like,
just
fine.
And honestly, like, I mean, we don't even want to go to nightclubs that much
now.
now.
Yeah.
Do I want to go with like? Would you go with somebody you hardly know?
With someone I hardly know, absolutely not.
I would go dance with you.
I would go dance with you
Yeah.
because I know you, and so we can dance and scream, and then in between I could be like, "This song we used to listen to in college," and we'll be like, "What?"
Yes,
But we already
uh-huh.
know context of each other's lives,
Yeah.
and it's not. I don't need. It's fine. I don't need to know like your whole background
Yeah, it's too much.
because I already know it. But it's like with somebody else, I'd be like, I like what's What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's too much.
Valid.
Hookah bar?
Oh,
No, obviously. No.
pass.
A bar just for drinks.
I disagree. What is like?
I
don't
feel like that's a
understand that.
casual date.
That's a casual
Yeah.
date. Like,
You're
what's she
someone who
talking
doesn't
about?
drink, but you would get a
I
little
don't.
mocktail.
I would
They
get
could
a
get a
little
little
snack.
something, and you guys could just like chill. I feel like that's casual.
Yeah,
I feel
I don't
like
understand that.
well, let's finish the list, and then I have a thought. Waffle House, you must be crazy.
I love Waffle House,
You
but
might-
no, that's kind of crazy.
That's kind of
Yeah,
cringe
that's
for a
kinda
first
crazy.
date, but we
Yeah.
also
I love Waffle House.
Yeah.
Your kids think it's the best restaurant ever.
Waffle House
But
is pretty lit, but it isn't. It does not scream romance
No,
in any capacity.
I'd be
It
offended.
screams other things.
yeah,
Sports event.
absolutely not. I
Different opinions.
just told someone last week that's why I do not like going to football parties or things like that, because people say, sure, come, it's open game. Granted, when I hang out with y'all is the only time I ever feel free.
Thank you.
But like people say it's open game, it's whatever, just come, hang out, it's fun. We have so much fun, snacks. And then I go every time and people get mad at you for talking, get mad at you for asking questions.
Lame.
They don't talk to you. The boys are sitting together being weird, machismo stuff. I just hate it. I hate sport things because
I don't think
can't
that
talk to you.
a sports party where you're like with a bunch of people is the first date.
Or even
but, like
an event,
going
it's
to
like,
one.
are you going to be watching it the whole time and then I can't talk? Like,
Yeah,
if
I
I'm
think it
like,
depends if you're both like
who's that player?
into it. Like when I
That's
was
true.
living in Wisconsin, if someone was like, "Oh, I bought us Packer tickets. Do you want to come to a game with me?" I would
Whoa.
be like, "That's peak Wisconsin
Marriage.
romance." Yeah, that's like
fair.
that's like giving your families have season tickets and like I want to marry into that, you know.
Whoa.
And so I think it kind of depends because there's also like a lot that happens, like you're tailgating before, like. But going back to what is just most important that we keep circling to is like, can we speak? And so I think like, are we getting food before and like it's a date and then we're like going to the sporting event? Okay, we got like food before. You know,
yeah.
like I think if there's like some time where we're talking, did you know that I like love this sports team and that's why you like surprised me with tickets for our first date and we're like still gonna get time to talk?
Yes.
Then like yes, I think it depends on your investment in the team and if you actually like it. But if it's a guy who's like, I got you tickets to the Packers and you like aren't into football, it's like, dude, you don't even know who I am.
Yeah, I'm
you
like,
know?
okay, sure. Am I interested in would I be interested in what you are? Yeah, like maybe a month into dating you.
Yeah.
But it's like, but obviously then at that point, you don't know me. It's like you don't know me because
that's not a good Chanel date.
to like granted, okay, there are some I don't know if y'all have those in Wisconsin. I think they're all over the country, but there's these like fake baseball teams or like fake football teams that are just like for kids. Like you just like it's like a baseball team, but I think ours is like the Daytona Cubs. And they just like run around and they play music and then
yes, it's like fun.
Yeah, and then half in the middle they have like kids come out.
You're talking
and
about
dance.
like minor league baseball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like whatever, like, and you just kind of get food and it's like silly and it's like
or
whatever.
Like AAA, is that the one below minor league?
Yeah, and you're like, who cares? Like, we're just all playing. Okay, something like that.
Something
I'd be like, this is kind of silly.
light.
Like, I love this.
I
It's
still
kinda-
feel like a sporting event is like a third or fourth date. I
True.
think it's a like we've decided that we think this would be something fun together. Like
and we're
let's
doing
try
this.
this.
That's
you
true.
know,
That's true.
they really romanticize it in the movies. I don't think it's quite as romantic.
It's
you
not
know?
because you're spilling like Coke on me, and then it's like, ugh, I'm just like hate
Oh my
it.
gosh.
So we did skip one ice cream
Oh,
date.
you're right.
Um,
Oh my gosh.
Ice cream date. I disagree with this one, maybe because I can think of 5 ice cream shops that are
Yeah.
so cute right now
Yeah.
that I would love
That
to
would be
sit
so
with a
cute.
man in or outside of and be like, oh, let's eat some ice cream and chat and walk around.
Yeah, it would be so cute.
Yep.
It'd be so cute.
Coffee shop stipulations. If it is not in a cute location and you have not thought about it
And we're just sitting there.
and we're just sitting there, absolutely not.
it might not be it.
And if you
And
take
like,
me
you
to a
have to
basket,
kind of feel the vibe. Like,
yeah,
is the vibe they're playing like wild music and there's like tons of weird people? Like, you gotta
Yeah.
know. There's
Is the
some coffee
vibe,
shops
like-
that are date coffee shops.
yeah, like is it the vibe like, oh, people are dressed up like they're in the 60s and they're roller skating your ice cream sundae to you, and it's like, then it's like, sure.
Yeah, that's romance. I just think there's some coffee shops that
You
are
know?
like cozy and
Yeah.
feel like so relaxing and it's a good atmosphere to be able to talk, whereas like some restaurants are playing like weird music.
Mhm.
I think here's what my thoughts are
Okay.
overall after listening to this ladies list is it sounds like this girl is not interested in a casual date.
She is not.
She's looking for expensive. She's looking to be pampered. She's looking for all these things that I don't think need to happen on a first date.
Okay.
Like, I think that those kind of like, oh, we're going to like Roost Chris. We're going to like something really like we're getting fancy. We're doing steak. We're doing whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think that needs to happen on a first date because I think those things are like romantic and intimate. And like, I don't think we need to invest that hard that fast in people.
Point.
And so to me, I'm like, she's eliminated all of like the casual, we're just going to see what this is, date spots.
Okay.
And so like, I think there's like this, I know my worth and I'm supposed to be treated like a princess thing equals you need to spend money on me. And I don't think that is the point. Like, I think we're missing the point. I think the like princess treatment is someone like treating you like you are amazing, like you are beautiful, like they would do anything for you. And I think to his point, he's like, I am taking you somewhere that I feel comfortable in, that I know is safe, that I like think we're going to have a good time in. And I don't know. I just think that there's other ways that men can show respect and that women can show respect back to men that don't have to be all about like the financial investment, you know?
Point. I agree. I mean, I think it's like, hey, I think her points, she has made points and some of her places are like pretty obvious to us, but there have been men in these streets that have been like, you know, my aunt is having a birthday party for her dog and I would love for you to come and all my cousins will be there. And it's like, what?
And that's a no.
Yeah. Or like, hey, my friends are all coming over and I'd love for you to come to my house. Yeah. It's like, huh? You know, so she has made a point.
She has points. But her initial issue was getting out of the car at the Cheesecake Factory, I think is bonkers.
Yeah.
I also think maybe you guys should have talked about that before he picked you up. If you had really high standards for where this guy was going to take you to eat, maybe you should have been like, where are you thinking about going before you got in the car? Like, I love the like element of surprise, whatever, but like, how am I supposed to know how to dress if I think we're going to like a steak or like lobster meal and you think we're going to Cheesecake Factory? We are dressed for two different occasions, you know?
But then it's like also the Cheesecake Factory has like a 40-page menu. So are we thinking of the same place? I don't know.
I know. What was she? She could have had anything.
She could have had anything.
The world was literally her oyster, which is
tortellini and jerk chicken in the same
She
night.
could have had anything. He could have had what he wanted. She could have had what she wanted. That's too far,
know.
girl.
She was thinking a little small.
People who
in
are
my
above
opinion.
the Cheesecake Factory are above us. People who are above Chili's, I just think you guys,
I don't know.
At a certain point,
I kind of
just
disagree.
eat.
Yeah. I disagree with a couple of your points, girl, but I get it. And for the majority of them, I do agree. And thank you for writing it down.
I think you agreed with maybe 4 of her like 25 lists. So I don't think you agreed with the majority, but she had a couple good points.
She did. So thank you, girl, for blessing us. So,
but fellas, take a deep breath. It's like, it's not that deep.
It's not that deep. So we're not that confusing. So
at least like chill ladies aren't that confusing. I don't know.
Yeah.
But also chill gentlemen aren't that confusing. But people aren't, not a lot of chill people out here.
That's actually true.
It's tough. Good luck.
Ooh, we're getting into the nitty gritty. So for the next
Speaking
story, speaking of oysters and fancy meals, our next story, this is like our dating relationships episode, has to do with this woman who went on a date and she met this man, okay, who said he wanted to take her out for a drink, which was on the list of unapproved places and things to do.
But to be clear, he said to her initially, I want to take you out for a drink.
This woman,
and she agreed. She consented to a drink.
She did agree.
Okay.
This woman shows up at the restaurant, meets him, and orders 48 oysters. Okay? 6 trays of oysters. So 48 oysters total. Just kept on ordering them. 3 lemon drop drinks. And was filming with the flash on herself, like slurping and eating those oysters for her Instagram. Okay. The man left. And later, she had to pay this $180 bill. And the man left and later texted her and Venmo'd her just for the lemon drops. And was like, I said I wanted to take you out for drinks, not 48 oysters. And then after she finished eating, she asked, okay, so where are we eating? Like, what are we eating? What's next?
After the oysters. And then didn't she order like crab cakes? She ordered like a meal.
She ordered crab cakes. And
I
I just wonder what your thoughts are on that.
I just think
because I love myself. And if I'm hungry, I'll tell you that. I'll be the first one to be
Yeah.
like, I'm hungry and I want to eat. So if
And
someone
that's
asked,
great.
so if someone asked me out for a drink and I was like, great, can we have a thing at Oyster? I don't know. Like, is she wrong? Like, I don't know.
I think 48 oysters is wrong. I think you showing up and being like, hey, I know like you want to take me out for drinks. I would love to like get us an appetizer because that is who you are and that is what you would say. I think that's cool. Or if you were like, oh, do you want to like split an app? Like, I think if the conversation is already going well and you want to stick around, then being like, do you want to split something? Or like, I'll get us something or whatever because he agreed to a lemon drop and you ordered 3 and then ordered 48 oysters and racked up in $180 bill when he got one drink.
Yeah.
I think that's a little bonkers. I think honestly one of the most shocking things to me about the whole thing was that she is filming herself like slurping so loud these oysters with her flash on.
So there's a
in
sermon
the
in there.
restaurant.
There's a sermon in there about our obsession with perception and social media. That's a whole episode just about like we have become so detached from reality that you can film yourself live eating
on a date.
meal on a date
Yeah.
with a man who is probably so uncomfortable. And you just keep on ordering plates.
Yeah.
No social awareness.
None. I mean, to me, I'm like, this wasn't real. Like, she did this for content. You
For
know, like
sure.
she absolutely did this to like
This is sad for
see how
him.
long he would stay and whatever, which is so sad for him. But then for her narrative to be like, I can't believe he left me with the bill and left me with this, whatever. And I know that's intentional because she wants to see like how many people will comment and be like, girl, what are you insane?
Yeah.
You know, and she's like doing it for the engagement. She's probably monetizing that. So like good for her because she created something people are like outraged
She's probably
about.
able to pay for like
So good.
hundreds
I know
of
she can do
oysters.
so many more pranks on these men.
Yeah.
But I think like fundamentally going into a situation, removing the like we're videoing and that's obviously not okay. And I would leave a date if somebody was doing that. And like you would like if you showed up and a guy was like filming himself eating oysters.
I'd be like, is
I'd
this
be like,
like
I'm
a
not
weird,
kind of
like,
out.
fetish thing?
Yeah.
It's like weird.
Like what are we into?
Yeah.
And so I think like rightfully so, he left. But I think removing all the weird, like we were obviously doing this for content stuff, just the nature of showing up and somebody being like, do you want to get a drink? And then you ordering over $100 worth of food is so, it's just like selfish and just like a lack of communication. Like, how is this relationship going to go forward if you can't be like, hey, no, you invited me for a drink. I would love to eat. Like, I'm going to order food. Like, you can order food and pay for it yourself because they did not agree to like the whole meal shebang, you know? And I think if that was discussed on the front end, then like respect what the intention of the date was, you know?
So she showed up and was like, hey, totally so excited for this drink. You're handsome, excited to spend time. I am so hungry. So I'm going to just order like a little entree.
Yeah.
No pressure to pay for the
totally
entree.
fine.
We could put that on a separate bill, but I just kind of want to let you know ahead of time.
That's beautiful.
Perfect.
See, you're so ready to get in that dating scene.
48
so ready.
oysters later, though.
That is so. She probably felt so sick, dude.
No, people were like, 48 oysters is literally, that's a war crime.
I know.
48
her stomach,
oysters? Like, what is your stomach? That's
really
nuts.
Gross. That's very gross.
That is nuts.
And then crab cakes. You know what the craziest part?
What?
At the end of that video, they said she left an $11 tip on an $180 meal. Girl. Wow. We have a lot to say to you, but that is bad.
It's criminal.
That's
dude.
really
That's
really
criminal.
unjust. Especially if after that waiter or waitress watched you slurp 48 oysters, they should have been compensated.
I think the man wasn't wrong for leaving.
I don't think so.
From this conversation, I have just come to the conclusion that he was not wrong for leaving. Mm-hmm. And good on him for Venmoing her for those 3 lemon drops.
I know. He didn't even have to do that.
He didn't even have to do that.
That was
because
generous.
It was weird and it was inappropriate. And sure, can you be hungry? Yes.
Yes.
And if a man says he's asking you out for drinks and you ordered an appetizer, I don't know. Would I think like he should also pay for that appetizer? I mean, yeah, I don't know, because one app and like a drink, I don't
It's
think
not
that's
like
crazy.
Yeah.
But if I ordered like a whole entree, that I would kind of mention
Yeah.
it. I would
I
kind of be
think
like,
open
"Hey, are you cool?"
communication.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
"Hey, are you cool with like me ordering like more food?" I'm happy because you didn't communicate that we were like eating like that. I'm happy
Yeah.
to kind of like comp
Yeah.
that part of this date, but like I'm really hungry.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
And also maybe just like if you know you're getting a drink with someone, just eat before you go.
Before.
It's just a
That's
thought.
true. Swing
Which
through
goes
that
back to
McDonald's
our
right before.
eating isn't always cute, so maybe just eat before.
That's true.
It's good.
Wow.
Slurping 48 oysters sure ain't cute. So
I just can't believe that.
I know.
So yeah. So I just don't know, y'all. Get on the YouTube or the Instagram or the TikTok and watch the
Tell us.
video of this recap
Yep.
of this woman.
And then tell
on
us
that
what you
oyster date,
think.
and tell
I
us
need
what
to
you
know.
think. Because maybe we're being super critical. Maybe that man
Maybe
shouldn't
that's
have left.
socially acceptable.
Maybe it's socially acceptable to just
we
be
don't
like,
know. We've
yeah,
been out of the
like,
game.
hey, if you're hungry, like do your thing. He said he wanted to take you out. That could mean anything. Who knows?
Who knows?
So there we go.
That one's rough.
Yeah.
You guys, it's been a great episode today chatting with you
has.
guys about dating.
It
We're
has.
excited to be here. I don't
Yeah.
know what a gift.
We love y'all, and we're excited to just like keep this content flowing, keep the content going, you know. Think about this list. We might just put the list in our show notes, like some of the places, and let us
I
know what your
know.
thoughts are on some of these places.
Yeah.
Like, do you think it's fine to have a date? Like,
Or you know what?
a
Our
movie
question
night
for
at
this
someone's
week is going to
house?
be
Who
like,
knows?
what is a no-fly date spot for
True.
you?
What
is
is
an
it?
absolute no?
Mm-hmm.
Which one are you like?
Did a
I
man
would
take you to
say
Applebee's
no.
once and you were like, absolutely not? Like, is that a no?
Is that a no?
But then if he like ranks it up a little bit and he takes you to like Bonefish Grill,
Ooh,
is that, I mean, that's a chain,
but
but it's like on the nicer end. If he took you to like a
Interesting.
Carrabba's,
what chain is too chainy?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, to me, Applebee's is like too chainy. That's
You've-
like,
you've realized you love Carrabba's, so you're in your Carrabba's.
I do.
But
That's actually
Applebee's
good.
is like just a slight notch down from Chili's.
It is.
So,
Yeah.
and in my town growing up, Applebee's was like king. So there wasn't a lot
Chili's
going
was
on.
king in my town.
So I think it
it's like-
depends where you're from.
that's true.
You know?
So it's like,
But
I don't know.
anyways, where would you not go on a first date? That's what we want to know today.
Let us know. Drop a comment, subscribe,
Ooh,
like,
the
comment.
world is depressing.
But we are not.
We are not.
Love y'all.
Bye.
Bye.